Hello everyone, my name is Sammy and welcome. And today I am super excited because I'm going to try and make my own Squishmallow. Now, as for supplies, I have a couple of uh, things to use for fabric that I got before. If you didn't watch my last video, those are actually for this project, the blanket and the tree skirt. Now, I will hopefully remember to link the pattern that I bought and that I'm using for this down below. So hopefully you'll be able to find it. I bought it from someone's Etsy, and so that's what I'll be using for pattern. As for stuffing, I bought and read that silk polyfill was the closest to a Squishmallow, and so I bought this off of Amazon. I believe you can also find stuff like silk polyfill at Walmart and maybe Joann's and stuff. I'm not sure, but I bought that from Amazon. So I think that is pretty much about it. Sit tight, grab some snacks. I don't know how long this is gonna be, but hopefully we can figure this out together. Okay, so I have my blanket here that I'm going to use for fabric, and I have my tree skirt that I'm going to use for fabric. And as you can see, my pattern pieces are pretty small. They're like a little bit smaller than my hand. I figured that would be the best first trial of this Squishmallow pattern, because I was thinking that there would be plenty of leftover fabric. There's even some of that pattern stuff underneath this. I could use that to make another one. That way I could take what I've learned from this and go from there. So this, I think, is where I'm gonna lay out my pieces. And like I said, the belly is on this tree skirt. So I'm going to pin and cut these out. Another thing I do need to try and make is a tail pattern and an ears pattern. So we will see, but first I'm gonna pin and cut these out. Okay, so this is what I came up with for the ears pattern, and this is what I came up with the tail pattern. Believe it or not, I actually don't have any bare Squishmallows, so I'm kind of just winging the way the ears and the tail look by looking up some pictures. So this is what I came up with. Now the tail, I'm basically this is on a fold, so I'm going to sort of just sew around here, I think, eventually stuff it and then attach it to the back. The ears, though, I will pick a side, probably this side, and I will cut out more of my tree skirt pattern just to create the little tiny little ear thing. So yes, that is pretty much it. I have all of the pieces cut out for the most part. Like I said, I do need to cut out the little earpiece. So I will be back once I figure out the next steps. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to start by doing is I'm going to sew the belly onto the rest of the front. I know it kind of looks a little wonky now, but hopefully when I sew this, it will look a lot better. Not looking bad so far, not at all. Seems like the next step is to do the face. So for this face, I'm going to want this little snout area, which there will be a nose and a mouth, and then there will be two eyes. Now, the thing is, I decided to hand embroider this is probably going to take me a while. This is definitely not an embroidery tutorial, so I would definitely look elsewhere for something like that. This is just me winging it. Okay, so I did something a little dangerous, but it looked like it managed to work okay. I drew in Sharpie where I want the eyes to be about, and then on the other side of the snout, I drew where I want the nose and the mouth to be. And so that way I can see it on this side and I'll know where to embroider. And I think hopefully it'll look pretty cute. Okay, guys, I did it. It is done. Are you ready to see? Now, please be kind. I do not embroider things, especially by hand, and it's definitely a little uneven, but look at it. It's so cute in my opinion. It is definitely handmade and hand stitched because I do not have a machine, but I think it's adorable and coming along together quite nicely. But this is where I think I'm going to call it quits for today. It is currently 6 o'clock in the morning and I would like to get some sleep. So, I mean, because of the power of video, I'll be back in just a second, but it is time for a nap. The next step here is to attach the tail to the back. If you hear like a humming noise, I'm sorry, my heater's on. Okay, so the next step is to attach the tail to the back. Now, I did read the instructions and honestly, like with every pattern, the instructions just kind of confuse me, so I partially follow the instructions and then I kind of wing it. So I feel like I may be slightly winging it here, or honestly, maybe this is exactly what you're supposed to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tail, I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to sew along the open edges, but leaving this side open, and then I'm going to turn it right side out, and I'm just going to add like a very little bit of stuffing. This is what we're looking at for the tail. I did add a little bit of stuffing, just mainly towards the front. It kind of ended up looking like a dog's tail, but that's all right. It'll be in the back, and I don't have a bear Squishmallow to really see what the tail looks like, and some of them seem to be different, so whatever, I tried. The next thing is to attach the tail to the back piece. So I believe what's gonna happen is this is the front side of my back piece. This is the front side of my back piece, and this is the back side of my back piece. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the tail and I'm just kind of gonna sandwich it in between these two pieces and like the largest triangle, and I'm just kind of gonna sew down this line right here and then stop when I get to the end. The tail is attached and I left a little bit open that eventually I will close, even though, I don't know, part of me just kind of wants to just close it all the way and just leave a portion open on the very bottom, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. It's pretty much attached, honestly. The tail looks kind of cute. Okay, the next step is to I'm going to hand sew the whites of the ears here. They are double layered, so I'm just gonna sew the whites on just around here. Okay, yeah, I'll sew all the way around it because I figured I would hand sew that to almost match the look of the nose. That way there'd be some consistency with the design. All right, the ears have been completed. They are done. I think they look really cute. I do recommend when sewing smaller things like the ears or the tail to just take it slow, because one wrong move, especially with this, like this fabric that I'm using is very thin, so like one wrong move and your sewing machine will eat it and then clog it, and you don't want to do that. So I think they're really cute. They're not the most even, but that's perfectly fine. Again, this pattern was free-handed for the ears, so I tried, but I think they're really cute and they kind of match the aesthetic for the snout. I was thinking about like having it done for the belly, but honestly I need the belly to look as clean as possible to make sure all of the pieces fit together. So honestly, I'm still happy with it and think it's very cute. The next thing to do is attach the ears to the front. Okay, so I think what you're doing is I'm gonna have my ears curve, at least I'm gonna try to. So I believe you have to take this piece and sandwich it in between these two corners like this. Obviously, like, that'll be up against it. It's hard to do with one hand. And then I think you just sort of take it and continue sewing down like that. I'm gonna mess around with it just to be sure. Okay, I think that kind of worked. So basically, you just sandwich the one corner into these two pieces like that, and then you sort of take the rest of the ear and sew it to this flap right here. I'm seeing progress. The ears are attached and I think they look really, really cute. So the next thing to do is now to sew all of the triangles together. So like this front one, we're gonna sew that one. For these little ones, we're gonna sew them. For this one up here, we're gonna sew them. Okay, we are on the final stretches here. All of the triangle seams, I did leave this little bit open just in case. All of the seams have been sewn, and now it is time for me to sew right sides together and line up the front and the back. Pin it and sew all along just this arch. We have to leave this open for the bottom piece, which is right there. But right now, we're just gonna pin and sew this arch. Okay, everything is pinned. I almost forgot though. I'm so glad I caught it. I'm going to insert a ribbon probably right about here, just like this. So eventually when I turn it right side out and it's all finished, I can add a custom tag or remove the custom tag if I so choose. All right, just to clarify, I put the piece of ribbon inside like this. So it's like rounded on this side, and these are where the two ends meet. And now I'm going to carefully and slowly sew around the edges. It is all sewn together. It is all done. It is time for the moment of truth. Did this work? Okay. Looks pretty cute. Pretty cute. I guess I should have made this in a little bit more, made it a little smaller, but that's okay. That's okay. Oh my goodness. Now with stuffing, this will definitely be more stuffed out and a little bit more rounder, but oh my goodness, it's so cute. Now to attach the bottom to this. And I think basically what's gonna happen is I'm going to, okay, it's inside out, and I'm basically going to take it and pin it all around the edge and then sew it like that. Okay, so this is what I was talking about pinning it, and then I will sew along this edge, and then back here is where I'll leave it open, so I may even make this a bit wider, but this is pretty much it. I'm just going to sew along these lines, and it'll be under my sewing machine like this. Guys, it's all sewn together. I did leave the hole in the back to turn it right side out, but it's all sewn. So here is the second moment of truth. Guys, are you ready for this little guy? Oh my goodness. He's so cute. Look at him. Oh my goodness, I can't. He's so adorable. All right, next it's time to stuff. Okay guys, the last thing to do is just to stitch this hole at the bottom where I stuffed it, and then I will let you guys see what he looks like. All right guys, he is finally done. He's finally complete. Are you ready? Look at him. Oh my goodness. He is so cute. I will have to come up with a name. and such. And I would like to create a tag at some point, but oh my gosh, look at him. He is adorable. He's so cute. He's uh definitely handmade. You can obviously tell. But you know what? That is perfectly fine for my first ever trial at making a Squishmallow. So I think he's so cute. He's about the size of my hand. Well, I mean, he's a bit bigger, but like he's about the height of my hand. He's so, so cute. So I am done for tonight. I will wrap everything up later, or again, for you guys, it's like a snap. Alright, guys, that was my journey. That was his journey. I have given him a name. His name is Konazato, and that is Japanese for powdered sugar. I thought that would be like a cute take on like powdered snow kind of stuff. So this is Konazato, and again, it's Japanese for powdered sugar. I did make him a custom tag. Sadly, it's not printed or anything, so maybe I'll be able to put up a picture of it somewhere here if I remember. But I am so happy with him. As to how it feels, how the stuffing feels, I do feel they are similar. Now, this fabric isn't really very similar to a real Squishmallow, like behind here. But I do feel like the squishiness, sorry, I'm sorry for squishing you. I do feel the squishiness is pretty similar. But it like I said, this is not like typical fabric that's used for Squishmallow, but I mean, I certainly don't mind. I usually try and like using recycled materials or using up stuff that I have before I go out and buy it. Of course, there's different circumstances, but yes, I am overall very, very happy. I'm super happy. I do have an idea to make another Squishmallow. Fun fact, the way that I sized my pattern, which I am sorry, I'm not sure about the details for the size, but this created like a 5-inch Squishmallow, like the 5-inch ones that there are. I plan on making another Squishmallow. I have an idea. And so with that Squishmallow, I plan on tweaking some things with the pattern. I have a few ideas to tweak the pattern a little bit in hopes to maybe make it a bit closer to like the overall shape. And I think for the Squishmallow that I want to create next, it's going to be closer to an 8-inch Squishmallow, I think. But we shall see. I may or may not do a video of that, or I may do a part video of that, because it's going to be the same steps. The pattern is pretty much the exact same besides the small tweaks that I might make, and I will be freehanding different pattern pieces for like the other parts, because it won't be a bear this time. So we shall see. We'll see what happens. But that is pretty much it. I am so happy with how this turned out. It's so cute. It's adorable. It's so adorable. But yeah, I think that's pretty much about it. I think that's all I had to talk about. That's it for the little wrap up. So yeah, I will see all of you guys later. Please make sure to take care of yourselves and drink plenty of water and get some sleep. And I will see all of you later. Oh, like and subscribe if you want to. And